Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Holy moly. Can you guys say based? Well, this guy certainly can. Now, I thought the whole Lori Lightfoot saga had come to an end. I thought it was pretty much over, and in terms of her career and anything really related to her track record as mayor, to her embarrassing timeline, of course is done and dusted. It's over. She'll be written into the history books as a colossal failure and first mayor in the city of Chicago to lose re-election, I think, in 40 plus years. So pretty much the Mayor Lori Lightfoot political saga is over, but we do get one beautiful, nice little parting gift. Democrat Lori Lightfoot at the most recent Chicago City Council meeting, which happened on Wednesday, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, turned into a primetime roast. Disgraced, failed Democrat Mayor Lori Lightfoot just sitting in a chair, getting absolutely blasted, eviscerated by individuals standing up at the mic. And this one moment has taken the internet by storm. It's gone massively viral, and you'll pretty much know exactly why that is in a little moment here. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. Alright folks, take a look at the headline. Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot slammed at city meeting. Quote, "Get the hell out of my city." Lame duck Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot got a tongue lashing at a raucous city council meeting on Wednesday, with a longtime critic telling the controversial politician to get the hell out of my city. Journalist William Kelly, a frequent adversary of Lightfoot, berated the outgoing mayor for her botched leadership, including her response to the pandemic during a public comment portion of the meeting.
Mayor Lightfoot, you and I may have gotten off on the wrong foot. Reporter, WilliamJKelly.com. I'm a veteran reporter in the city of Chicago, Emmy Award-winning TV host, radio, print journalism. I should be sitting over there with my colleagues, but I'm standing over here because on a weekly basis I was going viral asking you obvious questions. And instead of answering them, you told me that crime was down, my videos went viral, millions of views, comments, likes, and shares, and it was hurting your re-election campaign. So you revoked my media credential. That should never happen in a free country. And I'm asking the City Council to take the media credential process away from the next mayor of Chicago and the next superintendent of police and put it in the hands of the Constitution. What you've done to me is nothing compared to what you've done to my city, the city of Chicago, the city that I was born and raised in. You did the one thing that I thought could never happen. As somebody who was born and raised on the south side of Chicago, I never thought in my life that I would ever see the city of Chicago brought down so low as you have managed to bring it down. Shame on you. That is a legacy that you are going to have to carry. Future historians are going to have a hard time understanding how you ever even became mayor of the city of Chicago. I hope that you realize what damage you have done to the city. I hope that after today's city council meeting, you will pack your suitcase and get the hell out of my city. Mr. Kelly, you are a pandemic. You are a pandemic. Thank you.
Absolutely fiery, like I told you guys, totally eviscerating, as the New York Post dubbed her, lame duck Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot, and really with good reason. You know, William Kelly isn't just some partisan actor who's trying to take down Mayor Lori Lightfoot or attack her purely because she's a Democrat. William Kelly was one of the only individuals asking real tough questions, challenging Lori Lightfoot's ridiculous statements during press conferences, especially over the last year to 2 years, and wannabe tyrant Lori Lightfoot used her executive power in the city to revoke his press credentials. In other words, ahead of the election, he was asking real, hard-hitting questions that was hurting her re-election campaign, and so she banned him from the press corps. No wonder he's pissed. I mean, it doesn't get any more un-American and unconstitutional than that. It's of course typical Democrat behavior, especially in a corrupt city like Chicago. But for those of you guys who missed the backstory, we covered basically every single element of not only Mayor Lori Lightfoot's failed time in office, but the saga between her and William Kelly. These are by far the two most blockbuster, infamous moments between the two.
Will you rescind your violent tweet to call to arms?
No, let him talk. The more he talks, the more stupid he sounds. So let me just deconstruct the series of lies that you just spewed, as you do every time you come to one of my press conferences. So you're going to let me speak, sir. You're not going to talk over me. That's not the rules here in this press conference. And if you don't want to abide by those rules, you can take your nonsense someplace else, because I am about full up with you.
Craig Wall, ABC.
I'm not finished. Let me just finish. And the nonsense that you're spewing, that tourists aren't coming to our city, all you have to do is walk up and down Michigan. No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. You will stop speaking. You will stop speaking. You're full of crap. And that's the nicest thing that I can say. I will not let you spoil this moment. If you do not stop, I will ask you to leave, and I will make sure that the police take you out of here. You will not act like this, sir. I don't know where you're from. I know what magazine you're from, and I know what your conservative viewpoints are. But on almost every question that you ask, you had the facts wrong. So here's what I will say in answer to about the 15 questions that you just asked.
Do you owe these people any apology?
So once again, sir, I ask you to get your facts right. Crime is not out of control in our city. In fact, crime is on the decline. All of our major indices showed a decline in crime, and our homicides and our shootings year over year are down. That's a fact, sir. And you, sir, I was polite and allowed you to spew your rhetoric, which is offensive to me and others, but I'm trying to be polite and professional and answer your question. But if you want to write your own narrative and irrelevant to what I'm going to say and what the facts are, then we'll just move on to the next reporter.
And of course, as we know, Mayor Lori Lightfoot doesn't like being challenged. She claimed that William Kelly's 15 questions were filled with falsehoods. He really only had one question. He asked her, are you personally responsible, or do you feel like your rhetoric and actions are personally responsible for the current surge in crime that we've seen? And she responded, of course, with crime is down, an outright lie. Chicago crime levels the highest they've been in decades, basically since the 1990s. The second clip, she has an all-out meltdown. Typical Democrat, however, she doesn't feel the need to answer questions from the peasants. She doesn't believe in responsibility, accountability, and of course doesn't believe in the freedom of the press and freedom of speech. She berated William Kelly, she attacked him, attacked his credibility, and then pulled his credentials, revoked his pass, acting like a typical leftist tyrant. And so no wonder William Kelly is coming in fiery, coming in passionate, like I said, with good reason. Mayor Lori Lightfoot is possibly the worst mayor in America, possibly in American history. Her track record is as follows: scandal after scandal, vile attacks on her own staff members, corrupt authoritarian tactics like banning journalists or trying to bribe students with extra credit to campaign for her, a bunch of woke social justice soft on crime policies like defunding the police, demoralizing the police, leading to massive increases, upticks in crime, woke stuff like banning the Chicago PD from pursuing criminals on foot. The list goes on. She's a complete disaster, and whether or not you like William Kelly, whether or not you're aligned with him politically, based on the voting results that we saw in the Chicago mayoral election just a couple weeks ago, it seems as though it's bipartisan at this point. Democrats, Republicans, and independents all agree with William Kelly that Mayor Lori Lightfoot should get the hell out of their city. Another embarrassing moment to top it all off, the cherry on top, truly putting the final nail in the coffin of Mayor Lori Lightfoot's embarrassing tenure as mayor, if you could even call it a tenure. I mean, technically she did hold office for a term, so it's technically a tenure. Although of course, a short one at that. It's the end of Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot, and what a fitting end. Embarrassment, humiliation, public roasting. The way she just stood there in silence, typical Mayor Lori Lightfoot fashion. You can tell that she was just boiling inside. Of course, we know her temperament. I wonder how many holes she punched in the wall behind the scenes. A final message, Mayor Lori Lightfoot, adios and good riddance. That's what I got for you guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.